Hello my gorgeous friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabriel and today I'm going to be talking through some goals that I have for 2025 surrounding reading and a little bit of content creation as well. This is just going to be a super quick video just talking through just some reading based goals. I think I didn't really set any for this year, 2024, and I didn't set any for about 2023 either. Although sometimes goals for me can seem a little bit daunting and something that can put me off or put pressure on me, I think the way I'm feeling at the moment, goals are going to be a good thing for me to work towards and just concentrate on and focus on and use as motivation rather than pressure, because at the moment I'm feeling a little bit of executive dysfunction in my entire life. I've been using some goal things with my fitness stuff and it's been working so far this year, so I thought I would try and apply it to my reading again and see what happens and just not put pressure on myself, and if I don't meet them, it's not the end of the world, but we are going to try and stick to them. So let's dive right in with goal number one, which is going to be my reading goal for the year, like the amount of books I want to read. And for this I've decided to go with 100 books. Usually every year I set my goal at 52 because that's one book a week and that seems manageable, but for the last 2 years I've managed to break 100 books. Only just about. In 2023 I read 102. In 2024, as of today, which is the 27th, I've read 103 and I'm hoping to read 2 more before the year ends, but fingers crossed for that one. So let's say 105 for now. So that is almost like the long stretch goal. Like, it's gonna be a lot to get there because I've only just broken it in these past 2 years, and the years before that, the first like 3 to 4 years of my reading journey on Goodreads, I read between 52 and 56. We're gonna just go on this upward trend and hope that I can reach 100 books in 2025 as well. To be honest, I don't see why not. I have a lot of different goals on here that will help me reach that as well, so who knows. My second reading goal, or goal to do with reading, is gonna be to fill in my always fully booked diary at least once every month. Now, with these, this is my 6th year, I believe, my 6th diary with Little Inklings Design, and if you don't know about these, this is a normal diary that is also centered around reading. So you have TBRs, hauls, book challenges at the start, like book review bits at the end, like right at the end of the book, just lots and lots of reading content going on, as well as normal diary organization, but it is heavily centered around reading. Now, every year I start out really well and I tend to do the first 3 to 4 months really consistently, and then in the middle of the year I just forget it exists, and then around like September I pick it up again. So there's usually around 4 months of the year where I just skip using my diary. Whether that's something to say about summer and being out a lot and not reading as much, maybe there's something to be said there. However, I think I just forget that it exists and I just get distracted and just don't fill it in. My goal this year is to fill it in every month. Now, that doesn't mean I have to fill in literally every single jot of it, but I'm hoping to at least once a month make sure that there's something been done. Now, if I show you my current diary, it's actually an undated version, and right near the beginning of the year this was like 1 week spread, so that's cute. So stuff like that. So even if I only fill in 1 week and do stuff like that, whether I don't fill in, you know, the end part or like have all of my stuff in the start of it, I'm not really too bothered. As long as I do it once a month at least, I will be happy. My third goal is to use Corpile again. So I've used this in the past and I really enjoyed using it, and it really helped me when it came to very marginal ratings, especially when I can't decide between a 3 and a 4. That tends to be the most one that I can't do, because my 3.5s and my 4.5s and 2.5s and blah blah blah, to put that into like a whole rating sometimes is very difficult for me. So the whole way it calculates something is very near and dear to my heart. So I'm surprised I haven't used it in the past couple of years, but I'm also not surprised at the same time. There's been a lot of stuff going on. So alongside this, like within the same goal, I want to use Storygraph more instead of Goodreads, or at least as well as. Doing it as well as does seem like a little bit of like, what's the point? But a lot of people are still on Goodreads, and also a lot of reviews for like arcs and stuff are going to be on Goodreads, and I do kind of still want to use it. If I'm at least using both, then I'm at least still supporting Storygraph. I've been using it on and off for the past couple years, but I've never finished it or never caught up on it. I think I've deleted and re-imported my Goodreads library like 3 times to that app, but I need to stick to it this year, and that's what I would like to do personally. So that is my third goal, is to use Corepile and Storygraph together. Number 4, in along the same vein, is to keep my personal library catalogue updated, as well as my series trackers. I catalogued all my library books, my personal library books recently. I did it on stream, or I let everyone know on stream what the results were in the stats and how much I had read versus hadn't read, and it was not good. It was not great, and it took a long time. So I really don't want to have to figure out what I have and haven't put in my personal library tracker again. So I really want to keep on top of it, and if a book is coming in, put it straight in the tracker, stuff like that. And even if I'm getting like my Broken Binding subscription, I can put those 3 books in the trilogy that I know are coming, I will just put them in straight away because I know they're coming, so I'm not going to have to remember once each month. I don't have a lot of books coming in at the moment. Crazy, I know. I used to be the person who had like 6 subscription boxes, and now I'm like, I don't buy books at all. But it's because I've got too many that I have not read, and I need to fucking stop and slow down. And I've stopped and slowed down for the last 2.5 years, and it's still not gotten me anywhere. I've only got the Broken Binding as a subscription, and a Luma Crate, but I skip it very often, like very often. I did subscribe to Afterlight for one book specifically, but I'm likely gonna skip a lot of that as well. But I've kept it on, but I'm probably gonna skip it a lot. I'm gonna wait until we get more Sapphic, probably, and just keep those ones. And along those lines, number 5 is gonna be to reduce my physical TBR. Now, I have written 25 books to read in 2025, which I don't know if I'll do as a video or a post or whatever, but you'll find out what those 25 books are in some form of content. For all of those books, every single one, I have made sure that they are on my physical TBR. So that's my kind of first foray into trying to reduce it. This year is a big year for reducing my physical TBR. I will say at least 30 of those books are manga out of, what is it, 400, 600? I think I have 600 books. So that's a chunk. That's like a 3%. I don't know, I made that up. I did not even try and calculate that, but that's a chunk. I mean, I've fed all of these goals into each other, but number 6 is I want to read more manga this year. I read quite a bit of manga in 2023. I read a little bit this year, not loads. I finished My Hero Academia. I read the first 7 volumes of Death Note until the bit where it gets shit, and then I just kind of dipped. But yeah, one of my big goals is I do want to read more manga. I love watching anime, and I do like watching anime versions of manga that I've read. For example, I will probably go back and watch My Hero Academia once it's completed, but I did want to read ahead because I wanted to know what would happen. And the reason I started reading manga was I kept getting spoiled, because obviously manga tends to be much ahead of any anime adaptations of them. I kept getting spoiled for like really big spoilers for anime that I really love. For example, My Hero Academia, I got like 2 massive spoilers. Aww. And I will never forgive it for that, but it's fine, I guess. And I'm also just finished season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen, and I want to read it and read ahead because it has currently just finished. So as in the manga, so I would like to go and read that. So there's just a lot going on, and a lot of manga that I would like to read, including all of the ones that I own, but I am kind of in the middle of collecting some of it. So like I've got like 2 volumes left of my Full Metal Alchemist special editions, and I've got like quite a few volumes left of my Inuyasha 3-in-1 Visbig versions that I need to collect, because I would like to read those physically, but most of the time I do just read it on Shonen Jump. There is no excuse really, and it's so quick to read and so easy. So number 1, that'll help with my Goodreads goal. My book goal. I shouldn't say Goodreads, we should stop.
No, not that.
Oh.
It should help with my book goal for the year. Also will help reduce a little bit of my physical TBR, because I've got 12 volumes of Full Metal Alchemist, 12 volumes of Fruits Basket, 18 volumes of Full Metal Alchemist, but I need to get the last 2. I currently own 6 volumes of Inuyasha, would like to own more, but they're quite expensive. Number 7, which is again along the same vein, I would like to complete all of the finished series that are on my series tracker. And by this I mean they are fully published and complete already by themselves. I just personally haven't finished the series. For example, I have a lot of final books left. I have A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabriel, which is the Ember in the Ashes finale. I have The Bone Shard War, which is the final one in The Bone Shard Daughter. I have Hero of Ages, which I've been talking about reading for about 5 years now. So I have a lot of final books in published series that I've just not got round to, or just not, like, I've just been putting it off for way too long. My main goal this year is to finish all of the series that are published. There aren't that many, I would say. I'm probably going to go through them at some point, maybe when I fill out my series tracker in my new diary. I might like do a little post or something about it. There aren't loads. There are quite a few that are still ongoing that I'm like not up to date on or whatever. I don't really give a fuck about that. I care about the ones that are published. If they're not complete, then I'm not going to be able to complete them anyway, you know? The main goal for that is to complete these finished series. And by this, I don't mean like, for example, Hero of Ages. By the series, I don't mean the entirety of the Cosmere. I mean just that individual trilogy. This goal is for series that I've started before 2025. If I start new published series already in 2025, I'm not going to count that in this goal because that's just ridiculous. What if I start like a 10-book series? You know, so, you know, stick with me here. We're being normal, we're being very sane about this, okay? My next goal, number 8, is to get rid of all the arcs that are on my NetGalley list. I have loads of like doubles on my NetGalley list for some reason, and I've still not read like any of them. I have quite a few that I own physically, so I've put all of the ones that are also on my NetGalley list into my 25 books in 2025 list in order to try and marry these goals together and be successful. All of my requests on NetGalley keep getting either ignored or rejected. Now I say all, it's not all. I've still had some come through as a yes, but not, I got rejected for the new Abby Jimenez and I'm salty about it, okay? I don't like it, I'm not happy. So I need to get rid of these books off my NetGalley list. Some of them before I have actually just written, I'm not gonna read this. I don't know if that's gonna affect me getting them in the future. I don't know if they really pay too much close attention to that. But some of them that I've DNF'd and or unhauled without reading, I have gotten rid of by just giving it 1 star and writing, I'm not gonna read this. Don't know if a publisher will actually care about that, but hopefully not, and I don't have to start again on my account. That would be really fucking annoying. That is my 8th goal, is to just clear down my NetGalley list, essentially. Number 9 is to take part in more readathons, and this is more of like a interaction online kind of thing, as well as like a helping me reach my reading goals. But a lot of this year has been spent telling myself I'm going to take part in readathons and maybe like doing all of the organisation and getting like the dopamine of doing all the typing it up and marrying a prompt with a book, but then never actually doing it. So I would like to actually stick to these things and follow through. I did take part in not the magical readathon in September, but at the end of August I did like a catch-up thing where I read like everything I needed to read if I were to do the spring readathon for that. And for some reason I was able to do that really well, and then as soon as September started I just did not do anything that I was meant to do or take part in the readathon basically at all. Particularly for readathons that I am really excited about. I really do want to stick to it and I want to get involved and interact more, and part of this goal is also kind of just interacting with the community more on Instagram in particular, and just getting involved, making videos surrounding the readathon, maybe doing streams around it, I don't know, like reading sprints, things like that. I just really would like to get a bit more involved in the community, and my main way of doing that I would like to do is readathons. But I, again, keep telling myself I want to do it and then saying I'm going to do it and then just not doing it. And I'm kind of sick of myself doing that for a lot of things, not just readathons. I would like to stick to my convictions and actually do what I would like to do. And it's not that I don't want to do it, it's just that when the time comes my brain goes like, oh, I just don't want to do it. When I do want to do it. So 2025 is the year of coming out of our comfort zones and just forcing myself to do stuff that I know I'm going to enjoy. That's it. My 10th and final goal for 2025 is more to do with content creation rather than actual reading, and that is to just enjoy myself. That's it. That's the goal. Especially when I was a little bit bigger and a little bit more involved in the community a couple of years ago, I put so much pressure on myself, and this is not a new story. Pretty much every single booktuber, and let alone content creator in general, goes through this, but so I know it's not a unique thing. But I put so much pressure on myself and I really wanted to do well. Although I was having fun, I was just doing way too much. Like, I was just burning myself out in both work and play, and I kind of didn't realise it until it was too late. And then obviously my whole life fell apart, and then it got a bit better and it fell apart again. So I have been streaming since September, so that's 4 months of consistency streaming. I've done a couple of videos back on YouTube, but I'm not putting pressure on it. I don't want to have to tell myself I have to do this weekly or I have to do this. I'm just gonna make sure that I'm doing stuff when I want to do it, but with maybe a little bit of a structure in the background that nobody else is going to know about. Just making sure I do something to work towards my content creation goals, the main forefront of that being happiness and enjoyment and doing stuff that I love and actually enjoying stuff I create and creating something that I would want to watch and someone or a persona, someone who I would want to interact with or be friends with or support, you know? Like, that's the goal, right? That's my final goal, just have fun with it. And that's going to be my main mantra for 2025, is just have fun with it and enjoy life, because you don't get a long time, and no matter how like bad things get, you can always find something that you will enjoy or find joy in, and just cling to that one little thing and everything will be okay. Thanks for joining me. I know this was a short and sweet video, just a little chatty one for you guys. But I hope that you can join me in creating some 2025 goals and enjoying life in general with me. All of my links are in the description if you want to check it out. Instagram, YouTube archive, Twitch, all of that good stuff. If you do fancy seeing me again, click subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz, whatever the hell you're meant to do these days for the algorithm. Cheers, and I will see you again soon. Bye.